Shalom. Shalom, shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who do rule well. And the salutation to the hopeful elect. It's the brother Damawa coming back from the Cleveland branch with a quick video. And I just ran across this video a couple of days ago. All right. And just to set as a reminder, because of course, you know, from the elders on down, all right, brothers have put out a lot of videos, okay, showing how this goddamn devil, all right, why he is the devil that the Bible speaks of, but just the in general hatred that he had for you Negroes and Latinos and Native Americans, because now in 2024, all right, with this new generation, okay, they're a bunch of sellouts, man. Like, they don't care nothing about, you know, what happened to us in the past. And quite frankly, all right, that wasn't that long ago. Okay, we talking about what, 1930s, 20s, shit. You know, all that time period, all the way up to still now. You know, it's just changed over from all right hatred to undercover hatred. That's it. All right. But the hatred that the goddamn devils have for our people, the Israelites, okay, it's still well, all right. But as well as we get close to Jacob's trouble and the end of Esau Edom, the so-called white man's time as ruler, okay, of the earth, all right, we're going to see him turn back, okay, into this hateful spirit, all right. So with no further ado, I'm going to play a little clip, and then I'm going to pull a few precepts, all right, exposing, okay, showing how this goddamn devil, all right, throughout the years, okay, have displayed his hatred towards the tribe, towards the Lord's people, all right, and all of our people is lulled to sleep, okay, by technology and the things that this goddamn so-called white man has given them leisure to do, all right. They are fully consumed, okay, and they totally blinded, all right, about what he about to do, okay, this go around, all right. But it's a little bit of fun video right here.
They were burned and beaten to death. Bodies were hung on the lampposts. It was one of the bloodiest purges in American history.
People carry that memory as trauma. And I think one of the most important things we should do is to understand that when people don't want to tell stories, it's not because they want to forget it. It's because they don't want to relive it.
You see, and that's what you'll get from a buffoon nigga pastor right there. All right. Right there. There's no different from when they was doing this. Okay. Back in the slavery days. All right. Getting certain slaves that the other slaves looked up to and send that particular slave to different, all right, slave camps or different plantations. All right. To give them the so-called Edomite version of the Bible. All right, there's no different now. All these different churches that set up speaking prosperity because they don't want to speak about what happens. They don't never take into account or speaks about real facts of what have happened to people. Okay, they act like God doesn't care about the things that have happened. All right, which is so far from the truth. Okay, matter of fact, let me find that real quick. That wasn't on my list, but let me find that. Damn, I forgot to spell. Let's see. Here we go. Ecclesiastes, Ecclesiastes 3:15. Slacky, I'm starting at 14. I know that whatsoever God doeth, he should be forever. It should be forever. Nothing can be put to it, nor anything taken from it. If God do it, that man should fear before him. You see, because it's not just all the so-called white man's fault, because we have to understand that this goddamn devil never would have been able to put us in captivity and do the things that he did to us, all right, through all these hundreds of years, throughout like the last shit, since he's been around, all right. It was because of our own wickedness, all right, and going against the oath that we have with the Heavenly Father, that we had to go through this bear punishment. Okay, but just like in the scripture I'm gonna bring up, all right, this goddamn devil exceeded the punishment and just basically showed his hatred ever since from Jacob and Esau, when he said that after he found out that Jacob, all right, had the birthright, he said, I'm gonna have hatred for my brother forever, all right, and that passed on through what? Through their bloodline, through their genealogy, all right, through their seeds, all right, throughout the years, all right. The so-called white man hate the black man, Negroes and Latinos, okay, just for us being us, all right, but mainly because we have the birthright, meaning that what, as you see that kingdom falling, okay, they're coming out of their birthright. I mean, they coming out of their, basically their promise that Isaac gave them. Okay, so their version of their birthright, all right, was to rule the world under a false pretense, okay, but they was gonna gain control by the what? By the sword, all right. Now we coming to Jacob, birthright, and our kingdomship is gonna be forever, all right, and it's gonna be the best that the world has ever seen or known, all right. But I don't hold it up too long. Ecclesiastes 3:14, Slack 3:15, that which have been is now, and that which is to be hath already been, and God required that which is past. Okay, and we know that what, one day is 1,000 years to the Lord. So these things that they just did, I mean, that they did to us, all right, years ago. Okay, all right, it just happened in the spiritual realm, for one. For two, this is why, all right, listen to a pastor, a so-called person set up by the same people who put us in this position, okay, will be the wrong move for you to make, all right, because they don't speak out the scriptures. They speak from their own belly, all right. They try to explain things away because they took the bag. They in charge of keeping you niggas in line.
Those are two very different things.
Despite what recent reports may have you believe, it was the white people who were rioting. St. Louis was becoming what they call a sun.
You see, and that's why they don't be wanting this history still explained in school nowadays. All right, because they don't want to be reminded of the wickedness that their people inherently have, okay, towards us. All right, what they want to do now is they want to get the bag undercover, act like we all equal, okay, while simultaneously starting all these psychological programs, all right, that destroy you from the inside out, all right, to make it look like that they don't have their hands, all right, in the situation of where they got Jake at now, all right. But during these times, we have to understand too, Jake was still somewhat of a nation. We was together, all right. And so nowadays, what they do, they just give the woman the power, all right, and she does all the demolishing, all right. Just like how you got to pay a house to get demolished, all right. That's what Esau Edom has done. He has paid the woman to demolish the black household, community, and everything else, so-called blacks, all right. But let me grab something real quick. Let me bring out these scriptures, all right, because this is nothing new. And then I'm gonna let a little more of this clip play, because we have to be reminded sometimes, well, not sometimes, but from time to time, all right, and why the Lord is about to come back, why he's angry with the wicked every day, all right, because these people really think that they have got away. Ezekiel 35:2, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it. Okay, and Mount Seir was the capital in Edom. All right, in their land. Okay. Verse 3, and say unto it, thus said the Lord power, behold, Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. Okay, and we know that what Mount going to the government and the population in general. All right, in this instance, all the places where so-called white man Esau Edom rule or governors at, okay, is going to be destroyed in this upcoming war. All right, which is known as what the European nations. Okay, majority of those places, okay, is going to be tore up out the frame, but America is going to be demolished. All right, verse 4, I will lay thy cities waste, and thou should be desolate, and thou should know that I'm the Lord, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and has shed blood of the children of Israel. Okay, and we can go into countless of stories how these people, all right, has outright showed their hatred. Okay, especially from those times, from the 30s and 40s and 1800s, all those times, especially, okay, even until now. All right, how they hold themselves now guilty. Okay, clearly when they would then over exhort, force, or whatever. Okay, they just give a bullshit reason. I thought he had a gun. Okay, and that's more than enough for him to get paid leave time off. All right, and that's how these devils roll. Okay, because thou has had a perpetual hatred and has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity. You see, because the Lord put us in this situation for us to leave our homeland, for us to be put in these devils' hands because of us breaking, all right, the oath that we made with him. All right, in the time that their iniquity had an end. You see, and this time period that it's going into, okay, is right after slavery, okay, which is going into why, showing you why thinking that you're going to have, or thinking that you're going to build something in hell, okay, meaning that thinking that you're about to establish anything in America, okay, as an Israelite, all right, this is not your rest. This is not the time or the place to do that at. Lord didn't bring us over here for that. All right. And as you're going to see in these clips, anytime we had a place of our own and we was always doing better than the so-called white man, all right, he destroys it. Okay. And instead of looking like the goddamn villain, all right, he do it now in more slicker ways. And when he dropped this so-called micro hip in these people, okay, he's going to have control over you from birth, all right, as well as everybody else you're going to see, from your kids to your nearest family, all right. This got them devil plans on having the power of God over these people, all right. Ezekiel 35:6, it said, therefore, as I live, said the Lord of power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. You see, and that's why I don't want to jump the gun, but the Revelations, he that leadeth into captivity. You see, because the Lord is about to reverse those roles, because whatever man soweth, that should he also reap. So as a nation, these goddamn devils had a part, okay, all right, in destroying us. And it's going to say that in this video. It was children with them. And a lot of these pictures that you can even see in some of these history books. I know we had one in school where there was a black dude being hung, and there was a whole town full of white people. Their kids was there, all right. It was a good old time. Well, the Lord's going to reverse the roles, and he's going to put spirits on us to have a good old time. All right. When this recompense is returned upon your head. All right. What it say? I believe that's Jeremiah or Isaiah. Happy is he that smashed the kids' heads against the stones. You know. So yeah. But I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee, said the said, thou hast not hated blood, even blood should pursue thee. And that's why all these other nations is coming up against them. All right. The Ukrainian war. All right. All these other different wars that they got going on all these different fronts. Okay. It's about to get messy out here. Let me jump down real quick. Ezekiel 35 and 11. No, I'm going to start at verse 9. It says, I will make thee perpetual desolations, and thy cities shall not return, and you should know that I'm the Lord, because thou hast said, these two nations and these two countries will be mine, and I will possess it when the Lord was there. You see? And those two nations is going into what? The northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. Okay? Two countries should be mine, and we will possess it. All right, and that's what he did with this whole slave trade situations over the Indians, over the so-called Indians, so-called Puerto Ricans. Okay, the northern and the southern kingdom. All right, through that time period, he set them up, moved them around. All right, and put them in positions to be slaves. All right, to fund whatever he saw fit, wars, cities, things of that nature. All right. It says, verse 11, it says, therefore, as I live, said the Lord power, I will even do according to thy anger and according to thy envy, which thou hast used out of thy hatred against them. You see, and I will make myself known among them, even on Slakia, among them when I have judged thee. You see, and that's why the Lord is now raising us up. Remember, putting that spirit back on us to remember this goddamn devil and the things that he did. All right, and ultimately how he truly feels about us. And thou shalt know that I'm the Lord, and that I have heard all the blasphemies which thou hast spoken against the mountain of Israel, saying, they are laid desolate, they are given us to consume. You see, and that's been their whole agenda.
The white people who were rioting, St. Louis was becoming what they call a sundown town, which meant you don't want to be here when the sun goes down. On July 2nd, 1917, a mob of white women, men, and children, yes, children, destroyed and burned down at least $400,000 worth of property. This property belonged to not only black people, but to white families as well. This purge was so brutal and savage that it drove 6,000 black men and women out of their homes. Such a massacre couldn't have happened out of nowhere. Something must have triggered it, right? On July 1st, a day before it all blew up, a rumor started to spread that a black man killed a white man. Tensions were running high. Well, if you are familiar with American history, you are well aware of how white supremacists went above and beyond to subjugate black people. In many cases, they would...
You see, and like, it's just disgusting because it's at least 100 films you can watch just of this happening over and over and over and over again through that time period. All right, and these people and our people are still dumb to understand that we have real enemies. All right, that type of hatred, okay, and the way this goddamn devil goes, okay, that's not normal, bro. That's a spiritual thing. The Lord made him to be the devil. This goddamn devil is right now over there doing it, all right, to the other people. We ain't gonna get into that because they really counseling people over there. All right, but yeah, man, like, this shit is real, man. These people have forgotten. But let me go ahead grab a few scriptures. This went on too long. Been rambling too long. Revelation 13 and 10. He that leadeth into captivity should go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. All right. And since we have patience, okay, which means what? To suffer, to understand that we really have enemies, we're behind enemy lines, okay, we have to suffer this patiently, okay, and we got faith that that our Lord Yahweh Shah, all right, is going to revenge us in due time. All right, and that's what this whole thing is about. That's why he want to put that thing in you, all right, to show that you don't have any faith, all right, and you're not looking for the Lord to come. You trust in him, all right. Last verse real quick. Ecclesiasticus 12:10. Never trust thy enemies, for like if iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. You see, and that's exactly what the state of them is now. All right. When he was doing these things back then, this when they had total supremacy. All right. So they showed you how they truly feel. Now they feel the exact same way. They just get it off here and there, every now and then. You know, though he humbled himself and go crouching, meaning we can all be equal, okay? Yet take good heed and beware him, and thou should be unto him as if thou has wiped a looking glass, and thou should know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away. You see what I'm saying? Because now people look at this goddamn devil as being incapable of doing these horrific things that he was just doing 80 years ago, 100 years ago, 60 years ago. You see? All right? But they in for a rude awakening surprise. All right? It's just this time, instead of having the white cloth, they're going to have army uniforms on. All right? But I hope this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Kakadash, Shalom.